The Lord of the Rings: Rise to War has challenged us to build Gimli's axe featured in the game. Stick around, the war for the ring has reignited.
Here's Gimli! You know, axes are pretty simple, from a design perspective at least. Really, it's just a sharp, heavy thing attached to a long handle. Now, Gimli's axe is no different. I mean, there are some aesthetic details that are going to complicate things, but we'll get to that later. Now, Gimli's axe is known as a battle axe, which basically means it's two axes in one. Kind of like this. Well, sorta. Not really. Traditionally, battle axes are made and sharpened by blacksmiths. And despite my name being the Hacksmith, I don't actually know much about blacksmithing. I mean, we did a little forging with the Rainbow Six sledge build, but for this project, it's gonna need a little help. To help us build Gimli's axe, I'm here at Two Smiths, a local blacksmith shop, and Amy and Sandra are going to show me some traditional blacksmithing techniques to bring this project to life. Two Smiths is a design and prototyping studio that has been forging both functional and art projects in copper, steel, bronze, and aluminum for over 28 years. They recently established one of the most comprehensive and well-equipped teaching facilities in Canada that is dedicated to preserving the craft of working with metal by hand. Located in Kitchener, Ontario, they offer a series of workshops ranging from introductory bladesmithing to masterclasses in craft design. Sandra Dunn, the owner of Two Smiths, is passionate about creating opportunities for collaboration, which is how we ended up working together on this project. As you know, on our channel, we kind of cheat. We use CNC machines and we use lots of welding and engineering techniques to make a lot of our projects. But since this is Lord of the freaking Rings, we figured we gotta do Gimli's axe justice and do it the proper way with real blacksmithing. I think you can help us out with that?
Absolutely.
Awesome,
Yeah.
let's get started.
Yeah.
I'll try to explain my understanding right
Sure,
now. and then
yeah,
you can
for
correct
sure.
me.
Yeah.
So we have Gimli's axe head right here. We've traced it on this piece of metal here.
Yeah.
And we're going to actually make it of 3 separate pieces of steel.
That's right. Yep.
So we've got our big piece of mild steel, this square right here, and that's actually the center part where we're going to mount everything to.
Yeah.
But then we've got our 1045 tool steel that we're actually going to heat up and fold in half and actually basically encase around the edges of the mild steel.
Yep. And so we'll be folding this in half. It's what is that, 1/8 inch, 3/16?
Yeah.
So by the time you fold it in half, it'll be 3/8 inch thick, but we'll also forge that out.
Right.
Right, so once it's forged, once it's attached to here,
Then
then
we
we
do
can
more forging.
forge it out, taper it, and then we
Cool.
can shape it, we can trim it. And,
Awesome. Where should I start hitting? Like on the edge or near the middle?
Yeah, it's better to work from the center out towards the edge.
Okay.
Basically, when you're trying to move a lot of material, you want to make sure that you're at a yellow color. So you go ahead and start.
Because it's interesting because you control how fast it hits with your foot. Almost like a sewing machine, really. Because I'm trying to evenly smooth it out and make it longer. Because if you kept going in one spot, you would basically just dent the metal. But if you keep pulling it, then it kind of stretches the metal out, almost like Play-Doh. It's actually looking pretty even.
Yeah,
Like the edge is all wonky, obviously.
that doesn't matter, we'll trim those off anyway.
So traditionally, the person holding the tools and holding the work is like the master, and the person striking is the apprentice. So that's
okay.
like the orientation that.
Yeah, because you're
we're in.
making the decisions about
Exactly.
Where to
it's going to be moved.
Yes.
And now I'm using a cold chisel to basically indent along the scribes. So when we heat this up and we use a hot chisel, the hot chisel can find the edge so we can hit it again and actually cut through the material.
While James works on the axe head, I've been tasked with designing the handle. Step 1, figure out which material I'm going to make this handle out of. After some research, I decided to use hickory. It's known for being incredibly durable and flexible, which is great for repeated impacts. That's why they use it when they're making drumsticks. Now let's talk about scale. How big is Gimli? How big is his axe? After some in-depth, groundbreaking research, I've found that dwarves in Middle-earth are about 4 to 5 feet tall, and Gimli's axe is about 2.5 feet. That's a big axe for a dwarf, but we want it to be proportional to an average-sized human. So we're going to make it a little over 3 feet long. I also whipped up this quick prototype to make sure that the length of the handle was good and comfortable for swinging. So it's a pretty good swinger. And those are really good goggles. Pick yours up at hacksmith.store. On my SolidWorks model, you can see there's a few little accent pieces, and I'm going to make those out of this metal box tube, which slides right over top of the handle very nicely. And I also have some leather, which I'm going to use to wrap the handle, making it more comfortable and also making it look just so good. Now, once this is all put together, it should fit quite nicely with James's axe head. I'm going to start with the wood, and I'm going to use a router to round the edges. I've also marked out some holes where I'm going to bolt the axe head into the handle. Zoop. Traditionally, the axe head is fastened to the handle by sliding it around the wood and then driving a wedge into the handle. This causes the handle to spread out and keep the axe head lodged firmly in place. How we're going to do it is a little different. We have this slot in the middle, and we're going to slide the axe head into the handle and then bolt it through the side, because it's a quick and easy way to make a nice battle axe. We're going to stain this a deep red oak finish. Okay, rather than watching stain dry, let's start cutting up some metal.
On this channel, we strive for accuracy. We pay attention to the details. Take this Gimli axe build, for example. We spent a lot of time looking over renderings from multiple sources. We spent hours researching the techniques that go into this type of build. We sourced the materials that would give us an accurate, authentic look. And we're even blacksmithing it. This attention to detail and a desire to make it real is what you love about our channel. It's also why you love Lord of the Rings: Rise to War. This epic strategy game has paid attention to the details too. It features a painstakingly faithful, immersive rendering of Middle-earth, its characters, and its weapons. Players will embark on new adventures to build armies for conquest and strategically expand their territory in pursuit of the One Ring. Explore Middle-earth, build settlements, assemble armies, and form your very own fellowship in this thrilling mobile experience like no other. Epic tales of old, be it love, friendship, or glory, are in days bygone. A new war for the ring is on the horizon, and the fate of Middle-earth is now in your hands. Click the link in the description below and get Lord of the Rings: Rise to War today.
So we've got our main axe head pretty much finished now. We hot chiseled out the detail pieces, and we've got one of our tool steel blades with the ends forge welded. Now we need to make the other side, and then we got to put it all together.
So my flame's pretty green. 3, 2, 1, I'm gonna come out. See how there's a little bit of sparks? I'm start at the back and work my way out. And the idea behind that is you're squeezing out impurities. So visually, you can see one edge is over the other. That's fine. If you wanted to clean that up, you could take it to a welding heat and pinch it in the vise. All right, so we'll get your piece. So now you can take it up to that sparkling temperature.
All right, so Amy tack welded the tool steel to the edge right here, here, and here, and that's just to keep it in place
while we heat it up and actually forge weld it along the entire seam.
Come closer to me a bit.
All right, we're done here and it looks fantastic. Now we just have to take this back to the shop. We can clean it up a bit, start sharpening the edges of these, and see how Caleb's getting on with the handle.
I've got these pieces cut and engraved. Now it's time to weld them together. So I welded together this nice little cap, and it should just slide right over this, and it'll be used for weaponation and decoration. Not going anywhere, except for into an orc skull. Do you have any idea how hard it is to find brass box tube? Well, if you live in Kitchener, Ontario, it's nearly impossible. What I have is steel box tube, which is very easy to come by. I'm gonna make it look like brass through a process called brass deposition. Step one, make the metal really toasty. This is a brass brush, and we use it around here to do things like shine up metal, or remove paint, or floss your teeth. Not the last one. What we're gonna use is the brass bristles to be deposited on this metal. So once the metal gets hot, and then once you spin this on, it'll leave little bits of brass and it'll create an entire layer of brass on the metal. That is some brass deposition if I ever saw it.
All right, this looks awesome. Huge thank you to Two Smiths for teaching me how to blacksmith and helping create Gimli's bearded axe. The next step is to actually start sharpening it and then attaching it to the handle.
Now, I have to do some leather work. Have I ever done that before? Not at all. Let's see how it goes. You know your wrap is good when it covers up all the wood. This axe handle is looking good, and now, with James's axe head, we can slide these together, put on the decorative cap, and it's gonna look so good.
All right, let's test this thing. Ha! Woo! Why do we start with the sticky first?
Woo! That was a
That's
solid
pretty cool.
smash.
Glass everywhere. Have fun, Ben. Oh, got it! Woo! Ah! Next. Yes. No signal! Ah! Ah!
Oh, we lost the axe. James,
Whoops.
we now have a single-bladed battle axe. It flew.
Let's try and fix it and at least take it back in place.
Back from the forges of Mordor.
Let's get back to testing. Woo! Look at that. Oh, it is sizzling.
You think I could try chopping something up?
Sure. You did a good job on the handle.
Yes.
There we go.
Excellent. Woo! I went right through the chopping block. Since we're on pumpkins, which I think might technically be a fruit,
Let's do an apple.
Let's do an apple as well. Do you prefer Doritos or Red Bull?
Red Bull.
Red Bull? Face shields up.
I love the smell of Red Bull in the air.
This thing's taking up a lot of space. Like a smashy bin is valuable real estate. Look at these hands. Oh! Crunchy. Oh!
He's not gonna have a good day.
Should I grab an ankle? 1, 2.
Ugh. Need a leg? All right, let's try some real wood. Woo! Look at that. I think I could hit it again. All right, just let me slice this guy in the middle, and then we can make a little fire. Oh, that's nice. All right, I'm done with the fire. Hey! That's pretty awesome. We did some good damage, but
yeah.
I think we should test this battle axe in some more like real life situations, like where you'd actually use a battle axe,
So
right?
like orcs?
Oh, you could say that.
Okay.
Why wasn't I invited?
I think it's dead.
Here's Gimli.
Wow. What a mess.
Yeah, I think it works pretty good.
I'd say so.
What an amazing build. It was a ton of fun and a great learning experience for us, and I hope you too. Don't forget Lord of the Rings Rise to War just launched. It's a strategy mobile game that you definitely do not want to miss. Based on Middle-earth lore, you can choose from 10 different factions, select your favorite commanders, and lead your own army to expand your territories. Download the game for free from the link in the description below from both the App Store and the Google Play Store. See you next time.